thing about Mike Figgis is that he's not only a very good filmmaker, but he's one of the most interesting and intriguing ones. He takes many more risks than most. Sometimes he falls over himself and it doesn't work. Sometimes it does work. When it does work, he does something exceptional. I think the challenge of Donizetti and Lucrezia Borgia will suit him very well. And I think he won't fall over himself. Personally, I think it's going to be an opera production which we'll look back on and say, well, at least that was original and inventive and something unusual. And that's, I think, what most people want to see.
The approach I've taken is to basically take the entire text of the opera, the translation that I got hold of, which was obviously from another production, and convert that into a film script, which is, let's say, a kind of paper and ink language that I understand. And I find that once I see it written out as a kind of description of a dramatic sequence of events, it made immediately, so much more sense to me, and I suddenly actually understood the opera. I needed to see it in a language and a format that I was familiar with. On the one hand, my job is to make a dramatic presentation of this opera, to make it as dramatically interesting as possible for the audience. And obviously, when you look at a piece like this, a traditional piece, you have a certain limitation. But I've spent a great deal of time studying the text, and also studying the background to Lucrezia Borgia and the Borgia family, and have decided to take a kind of limited multimedia approach to this. And so what I'm intending to do is sort of, in a way, create a new overture, which is entirely cinematic, and using elements of Donizetti's music as a way of really presenting the subject of Lucrezia Borgia. And my hope is that by doing this, I will entirely put the audience in the picture by the time the first note of the traditional score is sung.
Donizetti is one of the top bel canto composers, along with Bellini, Rossini, and I find that a lot of early Verdi has the same bel canto quality, actually. And for me, I feel that it sort of fits my voice perfectly. I do enjoy playing the villain, I have to say. It's much more interesting to play the bad guy than the good guy. And I do quite enjoy throwing myself around the stage with a knife. But in Lucrezia's case, she gets to poison 6 people, which should be quite good fun.
With wine and with sombre sorrow, they can drive every shadow away.